Hi children, I welcome you to the video on textual exercises of what is man without the beast. And in today's video, vocabulary and the grammar will be discussed. Read the following expression. The warmth of the land. The word warmth here suggests love, care, affection, intimacy, etc. Warmth, this word means love, care, affection, intimacy, etc. Which of the following words can be used to work out new combinations with the word warmth? Use them in your own sentence. See here, friends, love, honesty, relationship, hatred, freedom. Friendship. See here, the warmth of a friendship. See, in one of the previous videos, we discussed collocations. Okay, this is something like that. Warm will collocate with a friendship. Similarly, why do you think certain combinations are not possible? Because collocation is not possible. The collocation does not accept it, so it is not possible. Are there any other expressions of this kind in the reading material? Yes. Work out new combinations and use them in your own sentences. Let us see some of the expressions that are used in the lesson. Perfume to flowers. Perfume to flowers. You have to understand perfume to flowers means flowers that has a good smell. Next, rocky crest. Rocky crest is another combination that that we can work out. Sacred blood is another combination of words that can be worked out here. Ghostly reflection is another combination. Next, shining water. Shining water is another combination. Okay, as per the instruction, use them in your own sentences. Okay. If I give the usages like I am doing is really detrimental to your learning. So you see these examples, but try to write your own examples. This is for your reference. You should not be writing the same examples in your classwork notebook. And when I check your classwork notebooks after reopening of the schools, okay, it will not be nice. So try to think of your own sentences and write. Okay, you can use it as a reference. Okay, let us use this perfume to flowers in our own sentence. All of us, has the tendency to smell the perfume to flowers. When we see flowers, our tendency is what? To smell it. Next, rocky crest. Standing on the rocky crest gives a good view of the village. Okay, you remember rocky crest, mountain tops. Rocky crest means top part of a mountain, which is made up of a rock. That is the meaning of a rocky crest. Crests that are rocky. Crest that is rocky. Standing on the rocky crest gives a good view of the village. Next, third one, sacred blood. Sacred blood. Price of freedom is the sacred blood of martyrs. That means people who are killed for a noble cause like a country, for the cause of a country. The price of freedom is the sacred blood of our martyrs. This is the way to pronounce martyrs. Next, the fourth one is ghostly reflection. The photographer, Mr. Peter, sometimes appears as a ghostly reflection in the window. Not only Mr. Peter, anybody can look as a ghostly reflection. Okay. So next, fifth one. She raised a glass of shining water. That's the last one in our list. She raised a glass of shining water to drink, but suddenly stopped as she spotted something in the water. Okay, these examples are for your reference. Just let me repeat. These are not for your writing in your classwork notebook. You must think of other sentences and your own sentences. These are not your own sentences. Okay, these are my own sentences, and you must be writing in your classwork notebook your own sentences. Okay, that's first point under vocabulary. And second point, in the speech you can see a few words suggesting movement. I hope you understand, going from one place to another. For example, in the sentence, the sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. The word course here means to flow. Flow means movement from one point to another, or a course means to move rapidly. Okay, now what you have to do, pick out from the speech means from the lesson, what is a man without the beast. Other words that denote movement, if necessary, refer to your dictionary and use them in your own sentences. Why should you refer to your dictionary is because you should know the meaning of all the words. You come across some word and you do not know whether it means movement from one place to another, so you have to use the dictionary. Okay. If you had been in the classrooms, I would have asked you by now to have a dictionary, because we cannot do anything, or English cannot be learned without the use of dictionary. So some of the words, I'm not saying this list is comprehensive. The words that I have picked from the lesson are move, go, pass, walk. These are some words that reflect that mean movement. Okay, let us see. See, as per the instruction, use them in your own sentences. Let me use my own sentences, and you have to use your own sentences. See, he moved to the US. Okay, this is capital U. Okay, he moved to the US after the war and settled there. So this is the meaning of own sentence of move. But remember, I have used in the past tense. Okay, right. Next, go. Chief Seattle did not want to leave the land of his forefathers and go to a strange place. Okay, this is okay. Idea is from the lesson. Okay, exact sentence is not there. Chief Seattle did not want to leave the land of his forefathers or ancestors and go to a strange place. Next, pass. He asked his son to pass the salt as it is far from him. So maybe if you are sitting on the dining table, you are in one corner and your son is another corner, or somebody. Your father is one corner and you are another corner. Your father may ask you to pass the salt. Okay, next, walk. I like to walk to school than going by car. That is the meaning of that sentence we have used so far. I mean, a sentence, own sentences for the words that denote movement. And when you write in the classwork notebook, words denoting movement, this instruction you have to write. Right. So having these 2 points are done under vocabulary. Now we will move on to the Next, academic standard, that is grammar. Okay, this grammar is not very complicated here. Okay, in this under this grammar, we will learn what is a verb phrase. Okay, don't be very tensed about this. Okay, verb, you know, phrase means a group of words that has some meaning but not complete meaning, right? Read the following sentences taken from the text. See, we are a part of the earth. Second sentence, you must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfathers. What is the relationship of the above underlined parts with the first part of the sentences? See here, what is the relation? What is the relation of this underlined part with this part? First part. Relation is that, okay, this is the first part is the subject and second part is the predicate. That is a verb phrase. Also, this underlined part is the object of this subject. This is subject, we is the subject, and are a part of the earth is object. This next, it's okay. Object means it's in the object position. Next, what type of word do you see at the beginning of the underlined part? What type of word do you see at the beginning of the underlined part? See, this is the underlined part. The beginning of the underlined part is this one, R. R is the beginning of the word. And in the second sentence, the first word is this must. Okay. Okay. What type of do you see at the beginning of the underlined words? Verb. This is called a verb. Okay, this is verb or helping verb. That means verb phrase begins. Verb phrase must begin with either a helping verb or main verb. Right. Next, which is the most important word in it? Okay, let us see this one. We are a part of the earth. For example, this is a smaller sentence than the second one. Okay, which do you think is the most important word in this sentence? Is it we are a part of the earth? Surely, the most important word is this one. Without this, say for example, we a part of the earth. What does it mean? It does not make any sense. Whether it is past tense or present tense, we don't know. We a part of the earth. And this sentence does not make any sense. Okay. See, for example, this one. Okay. Your children, that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfather. What do you understand? You cannot understand. So, in the second sentence, the most important words is this one. Teach. Must teach. Okay, helping verb. You must your children. Okay, see, the verb is the most important word. Verb is the most important word in this in any sentence because you cannot understand the tense of it, what it says. Right. So the most important we have understood that the most important word is the verb. Okay, let's move on. Verb is the most important word. Okay, next. You have learned earlier that a sentence contains the subject and the predicate. Okay, I cannot tell you subject means doer of the action. Okay, okay, if you want, I can write here doer of the action. Doer of the action. Action is the subject. definition. And the predicate is predicate, okay, part of sentence, okay. Predicate is a verb and object, okay. That is a predicate. Okay, any part of sentence after the subject is predicate, not just a verb and object. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, let me write it that way. Part of the sentence. Part of the sentence after the subject. Subject, which has verb. Okay. Okay. Verb, object, etc. Sometimes attribution also can come. So that also. But what you should know is verb and its object or attribution is called a predicate. Or simply predicate means whatever comes after subject is predicate. So predicate should have its own verb. Okay, right. The underlined parts of the sentences given above are predicates. We are a part of the earth. Okay? This is a predicate. This is a predicate. That is predicate. Same, this one also. Predicate. Right. The important word in a predicate is the verb. The most important word in a predicate is the verb. As you can see, each of these predicates has at least one verb, sentence 1 and 2. In the second sentence, must is a helping verb or auxiliary verb. It is better to call this auxiliary verb. And teach is the main verb. Here, list all the verb phrases in the following passage. Okay, it is actually in your textbook. This is not how you can see. Just to make it easy for you to understand, I have done this. This is a passage, but I have made into individual sentences. Look at the river. Look at the river. See, this is the total predicate. Subject is not there here. Subject is understood. Subject, what is the subject? You. You look at the river. So here, look is the main verb. Right. It has very little water in it. See, okay, let me simplify it. Okay, let me say all that is in a red is main verb. All that is in a blue is helping verbs. These are helping verbs. All that is in blue. Okay. So this is very simple. Look at the river. It has very little water in it. This is not helping verb. We should not misunderstand, because if it is a helping verb, it should have a main verb. It's not there. So this word itself is a main verb. Next, once it was flowing well. See here, was flowing well. This is a complete verb form. And okay, was is the helping verb, flowing is the main verb, and this underlined part is the predicate. Okay, the underlined part in uh, all these sentences is predicate. See, now it is a dying. Is a dying is the predicate and it begins with the verb. Is the helping verb. Dying is the main verb. Can't you hear the cries of the dying river? Can is the auxiliary verb. Here is the main verb. See, this underlined part is the predicate. Hear the cries of the dying river. Water in it is polluted. Is polluted is the predicate, and is the helping verb. Polluted is the main verb. Do you get its stink? Do get its stink is the predicate in this sentence. See here, can't hear the cries of the dying river is the predicate in this sentence, and do get its stink is the predicate in this. You cannot drink it. Can drink is the uh, cannot drink it is the predicate. Can is the auxiliary verb. Drink is the main verb. Okay, you cannot give this water even to animals. See, this cannot is the can is the helping verb. Give this give is the main verb. Animals will not go near it. The will is the helping verb. See, the underlined part in all these sentences is a predicate, and those words in blue are helping verbs are auxiliary verbs. The words that are in red are main verbs. Okay, analyze the verb phrases you have already identified and list the main verbs and the auxiliary verbs. I have done it already, so you may have to write in your classwork notebook in this similar manner. Things are already just ready there for you. Okay, that is the second point. Writing part we will discuss afterwards because it takes a lot of time. Okay, until then, bye bye.